Good morning. It's your gourmet cave woman. So I'm just going to do a very quick little video. It's Sunday morning and I'm in the mood for pancakes. But I don't use flour. I only use gluten-free products. And today I'm actually using buckwheat. Now, buckwheat is a seed. It's not a grain. And what I usually do, and what I did with this one, is I soaked it for 24 hours, the buckwheat seeds. Then I let them sprout for about 24 hours. Then I let them completely dry, and then I put them in my NutriX blender and made my own flour. So this is an incredible product when you do it like that. It opens the enzyme inhibitors, so it's even more easy to digest because buckwheat is very easy to digest since it's a seed. Now I've added baking soda, baking powder, some salt, and I've also added some, no, I think it was just baking powder. I will put the ingredients at the bottom anyway. And then I'm using, instead of milk or buttermilk, I'm using coconut milk with one large egg and some vanilla. And then I'm just going to put all of this together and I'll be back with you in a minute. So I'm back. Now I've mixed my large egg with the cup and a quarter of coconut milk and vanilla. And yes, so in the buckwheat flour, I put baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And now I'm going to put the two together, and you don't have to overbeat it. You can just use a spatula, and then you will get a little bit of unsalted butter into your frying pan, and you can start making your pancakes. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I'm now going to pour my liquid ingredients into my dry ingredients. And I'm just going to use a spatula and kind of mix it up very gently. Now, I just want to explain a couple of things about buckwheat. Buckwheat is extremely nutritious. It's very easy to digest. And believe you me, you will not want to eat any other kind of pancakes once you try this recipe. This recipe will be in my budget-friendly cookbook. It'll be under the breakfast section because actually it's not an expensive meal to make, or it's not an expensive dish to make. You can get buckwheat seeds organic at any health food store, Whole Foods, wherever there's a natural food store close to you. And then you just soak them for 24 hours. And then you just put them in a large sieve and let them sprout. And once they've sprouted, as I said, you just let them dry. And then you just put them into your NutriBullet or your Vitamix or whatever good blender you have to make the flour. So I'll be right back with you in a minute. So I'm back. I've mixed it all together, the wet and dry ingredients. And it's a good idea to just let it sit for a minute or two, and you'll see the bubbles coming up. And then what I usually do is I use a half a cup, measuring cup, to use to put into my frying pan, because you don't want to use too little and you don't want to use too much. So it's a good idea to just measure it with a half a measuring cup. So I'll be back with you in a minute as I put my first batch into the frying pan. So I'm back, and I just need to mention two challenges that I have. One is this stove here, where I am in Toronto, is a pretty old stove, and when you put it on low, it's still too hot. If you put it on high, well, forget that, it'll burn everything. When I'm in the US with my daughter, she has gas, and gas is much easier to regulate. And the other thing that I forgot to mention, but it will be at the bottom of the video, is I did add sugar to the dry ingredients, but I used coconut sugar instead of white sugar. So I'm just waiting for this second try, because my first try I had to really throw out because the pan was too hot and the butter was burning. And so I've just really adjusted it, and I'll be back with you in a minute. As you can see, the bubbles are coming up, and I just have to learn to be more patient. Okay, I'm back. Success. Here it is. I'm going to just wait another couple of minutes to put it on my plate. Now, the other thing I just wanted to tell you, you can buy cream of wheat, buckwheat, but I prefer really to make my own because I like to soak it, as I told you. It opens up the enzyme inhibitors. I mean, it is a seed, of course. I like to sprout it and then dry it and make my own flour. But I did buy this as a standby. So basically, you can also use this to make crepes if you like. If you make it just a little bit thinner, you can add a little extra coconut milk, or you can make waffles if you have a waffle maker. So it's a very versatile recipe and extremely healthy, gluten-free, and I wish you all the best today, and do give this a shot. You can also do this with almond flour. And thank you very much for pressing the like button and the subscribe button. And I'll be back with you very soon. And by the way, this will be in my book coming up under the breakfast options. Have a great day, and thank you.